Okay. Hello, I'm Joshua Kritz. I am a PhD researcher in board games and artificial intelligence at Queen Mary University of London. I am investigating synergy in card games. I'm trying to quantify it through simulation. I think this is important because we're going to be able to talk more objectively about synergy and be able to correctly identify it in games. Like synergy is for example, a combo in Magic the Gathering where you mix cards to do something very powerful, or even the chain of actions we find in White Castle. My motivation for this is that there is a gap in the literature. There is very little research in synergy specific, even though it is a very common talked about topic in the discussion of games and for designers and everything else. So I intend to cover that, and I think it's very important because we will be able to create better game design tools. We will be able to analyze games in a more objective way if we know what synergy is about. There's also the fact that synergy is frequently at fault for breaking games. It's very hard to balance synergy because there is a big variation of interactions there is in a game, and it's pretty hard for designers to cover everything. I still haven't managed to put my research in practice in industry level. We are working with an indie game designer that's creating a game, and we're trying to analyze and help him on the design process. However, I still haven't managed to put in synergy into that because it doesn't fit the game that well and the type of analysis we're doing. So I'll be very interested in finding a company that's willing to take me in and talk about synergy in their game. Probably some company that has a game that is very reliant on synergy, for example, a digital card game, and that will either allow me to have the data to look into synergy or even apply synergy in their design process and validate if my ideas actually make sense. iGGi was an amazing advent that happened in my life because it is a PhD group where you have a multitude of researchers engaged in games and interested in games and in very different areas. And I'm very curious about game research, not only in my area, but other types. So being able to talk to them and interact with them in a way that I can learn about every type of research in games is amazing. And for someone that came from an environment where we didn't have much support, having a big group of people that are there to support you and help you, it's just blissful. Well, my PhD journey was a very rocky one. I started a PhD in another topic that didn't work really well, and I felt very lucky to actually be able to go back into games research and start a PhD in that. And that has been a very good experience for me, even though all the hardships, being able to do something I love, something I care, makes the journey very worthy. It makes very rewarding, and I feel great doing it right now. Well, thanks for listening. I see you at Develop, and bye.